Hello, I'm here with a little young man here who is just like a normal baby, doesn't know a lot, doesn't know his alphabet, doesn't know how to tie his shoes if he had any shoes, doesn't know how to make cereal on a Saturday morning and watch cartoons. You see, these are things that all need to be taught to him. Now, he might learn them directly, or he might just watch his older brother make cereal and says, hey, I can do that myself. But what he also doesn't know, he doesn't know racism or bigotry, prejudice, none of these things. All of this must be taught to him. So we always have to be careful of what we teach our young people, especially somebody as young as this that's innocent. He's also my third cousin once removed. See, his mother and I share an ancestor, great-grandfather, or great-great-grandfather, long ago dead. And a wise lady told me, my college roommate's grandmother, who I go see, about that. A child born into the world is free of racism and prejudice. And every time I come home from the army, after visiting my parents, I go visit her, and she'd always treat me. She said, I'm like family to you, or I was family to her. And so this young man here is a distant relative. And we also need to be careful of what we teach our children. Because I grew up thinking we were free of racism because it was never taught to me. And what I saw was all of us getting along. I was on a little league team, and we'd have a mixture of kids. One year I might have a black coach, one year a Mexican coach, one year a white coach. I see adults of different races mixing around. Okay, when I was in high school, we were all, it was based on our class, not our race. The shows I watched, the first show I can remember is Diane Carroll in Julia, and she had a young son. She was a single mother, but she was a widow, and her young son had a white friend, and they played together. And so I saw that. We saw Sesame Street with Gordon, and they had a mixture of kids. Kid Power was another one with a mixture of kids. Zoom and the Mickey Mouse Club. So okay, you saw that video as soon as I moved Bryson, the sound cut off, and so I've been having that issue with the microphone. Tried it at the park with another video, it silent, and then tried it on the tripod, and you had too much wind noise. So I want to just film it in my car like this, and probably just try to do most of my videos like this from now on. But I want to continue on with this idea that racism must be taught. I remember 8th grade, Dr. Thomas, we played the Martin Luther King I Had a Dream speech, and 8th grade also was a year that we did U.S. history. It's one of the 3 years. We did 5th grade, 8th grade, then 11th grade. And also that time, the miniseries Roots was on, and so the Bull Connor with the dogs and the hoses and all that was in my mind. The same thing with slavery and roots. It was something that happened a long time ago that racism didn't seem to exist because of the world I'm living in, because, you know, my college roommate Thomas was one of the most popular kids in school. And so this was something that, you know, as I went through college and the military, I saw, you know, different races of men in positions of authority that, you know, did very well in it, and they were treated with respect. And so I didn't see this almost until I got out of the Army, where it started coming back. And so in interacting with people, it's very difficult for me to understand this because it was something I was taught. A couple years ago, I had to do long-term in a history class because the teacher, you know, went out. He had knee surgery, I think, and so they said basically they just gave me a week. This week was in the Cold War. This week was on assassinations, but this one week was on the Civil Rights Movement. And so I found on YouTube the Ernest Green story, which, if you don't know who he is, of the Little Rock Nine, he was the senior that year. Morris Chestnut played him. It was like a straight-to-video movie, but it was very well done. And so I saw that with the kids. And I told him, I said, I can't understand, and I just couldn't understand it. It just didn't make any sense to me. And many of the kids understood that because they read the book Warriors Don't Cry, which I think is about that, and it had the scene with Elizabeth Eckridge getting off the bus and being harassed. And I couldn't say to the kids, y'all seen that picture? And they said, yeah. And it's just something I could not understand. So I've remember I've talked to people, and like Thomas called me, and I was asking, I says, you see racism? He says, and he will see things that, he says, I see things that maybe you don't see, which, okay, I can understand. And I'm not going to be naive to say that, there will be challenges that, black person or a Mexican person might face that I don't. But I think as a goal, where do we want to get to? Do we want to get to a society that's a heterogeneous society where we all kind of get along, and it's based on, our merits, how well we do things, and remove barriers so each one of us can achieve what it is that we're supposed to achieve based on our God-given talents and the skills that we develop. So that's what I want to address, and then say that we have a society with a dog barking. Try to get a quiet place. But we got to, look at what do we teach our children, either overtly or subtly, through what we say and our actions. So I want to be cognizant, as even though I don't consider myself a racist, but since I was told that by Thomas's grandmother, I make sure I says, okay, what am I teaching, either through actions or words? Is that I'm not going to say anything that one can be taught it. So that is kind of, dog got me distracted a bit. Sorry about that. But I'll just end on this. I said, listen, we be careful of what we teach young people. So that they can look at each other as just different people. I've seen, little kids play together of different races because nobody told them that they were supposed to not like each other. So I'll end on that. I will definitely try to, hopefully this video worked, but I will definitely hit on this because I got a lot of theories that I've run by a few people, and they seem to be valid. So of why we have kind of what we have, and see what everybody else thinks about that, but to get people to think. So that's how I'm going to cut off this video. Hopefully this works, and then I can go, I'll probably just do it in my car, and I can get the videos out faster, because this is taking too long for me to get out. I got a lot of what I want to say, and hopefully we can get these out faster, and I can get the message, what I want to get across. Until that time, thank you very much for listening, and